What's good for the ghosts? Ghosts. I don't see nobody. Surfer. I'm at your moon gazing, blunt blazing, trailblazing, so amazing, got hearts racing, hell raising, captivating, satiating, got a skill like the man for taking, special vibe, can't replace it, fuck online shit, face to face it, finally meeting, they flag waving, face saving, misbehaving, my aura craving, they aggravating, got no patience for bitches hating, like my life, they like complacent, snake shit, bitches changing faces, them lack accountability, cause them can't fucking face it, cause they basic. Niggas won't live authentic, so yeah, they'd rather fake it. Good for the goose, it's also good for the gander. If it ain't part of the equation, trust it ain't no factor. What's the matter, huh? They can't dim my grandeur. Pop my vibe and make that I'm the shit, my daily mantra, ho. Good for the goose, it's also good for the gander. If it ain't part of the equation, trust it ain't no factor. What's the matter, huh? They can't dim my grandeur. Pop my vibe and make that I'm the shit, my daily mantra. Don't wanna have to say twice. You should talk to me real nice, cause I'm about to take off flight, catching up to brand new heights. See my name up in skylights, and I'm reading all the star signs. They telling me it's my time, so I'm stepping out so fast. This ain't new to me, they playing like they cool with me. Don't know what to do with me, so I put them under scrutiny. Truthfully, trying to screw with me, trying to fuck my opportunities. Talk about me in fake communities. Don't they move so stupidly, it's lunacy. You bitches know you wanna groove with me, cruise with me. You ain't got no choice to choose me when I'm choosing me. You want that dumb shit, I'm like, bitch, don't include me. They like, damn, she's strong. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, good for the goose. It's also good for the gander. If it ain't part of the equation, trust it ain't no factor. What's the matter, huh? They can't dim my grandeur. Pop my vibe and make that I'm the shit, my daily mantra. Good for the goose, it's also good for the gander. If it ain't part of the equation, trust it ain't no factor. What's the matter, huh? They can't dim my grandeur. Pop my vibe and make that I'm the shit, my daily mantra. Ayy. That goes. That goes. I don't see nobody.
There it is. Well, all right, Yahsinni is in the house, and I've got my special guest here today to talk about the science of the sixth, not the sense, the sixth period. And when I did my reading on it, I was flabbergasted with the knowledge and the science behind it. And so leave it to the word witch to come up with the story of the science of the sixth. And if you don't mind, Jillian, go ahead and give your own introduction.
Peace, everybody. Thank you so much. Yes, I am the Word Witch, Jillian Brown. And yeah, just wanted to bring some of these breakdowns and these downloads that have been coming through, um, which are definitely in the space of us just getting to know ourselves on a deeper level and what we have available to us within our own vessel. You know what I'm saying? So that ultimately we just really begin to have a baseline of seeing ourselves as a resource. So that's what I'm bringing.
Absolutely. And so when we're talking about the six, and the reason why there's nothing at the back of that six is because the way you're gonna explain that part, I didn't want to, let the cat out the bag. So tell us what the science of the six is all about and why it's important to us.
Well, I originally came up with, I don't know, just the understanding portion of it, because definitely it's something that we've all heard before. And there's so much power in a lot of these cliches or repeated sayings, right? That we have. So everybody's heard, you hang around five millionaires, you're going to be the sixth.
Right,
Similarly, if we hang around five clowns, we might as well start a circus.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But what is the science behind that? Why would you be the sixth? What are they saying about the sphere of others that you're sitting around? Then you break it down to the sixth sense, right? This is, we all know our five senses, but sixth sense is something that they measure quite differently, or that people have the same way people have a difference in their regular senses. Not
Mhm,
everything that I taste and I like is everybody else going to taste and they like. So this shows that we have nuances within the senses that are even common to us. So there's definitely going to be nuances in the sixth sense. So we all understand that, or we should understand that we have an electromagnetic field that's actually emanating outside of the heart at least 6 feet. Depending on certain practices that you can do, you can actually extend your aura and things like that. But right, they measure and say at least 6 feet.
mhm,
Excuse me. So the interloping of those magnetic fields when you stand around someone, when you spend a lot of time with them, within quantum, they teach it that that's entanglement.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
after so long, you'll find that you are resonating with some more of this person's thoughts, or maybe they're, you know what I'm saying? That's what we would call putting somebody putting you on. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Hey,
hanging around five. Yes.
immediately coming to mind, just from the little that you said now, is the atom
I'm
itself.
sorry, it's breaking up.
Oh my goodness. Well, then you do the talking. I was talking about the atom, atom.
Hmm.
Can you hear me now?
I can. I can. You said you were talking about the atom.
The atom came to mind
Absolutely.
because it's going to look like those.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's perfect, right? So
Okay.
when I'm explaining how you get an energy vampire cellularly, this is going to be through the atoms, or at least this is how they teach it in quantum, right? So a free radical, they always talk about fighting free radicals, and free radicals, they say age you, right? This is what can make you sick, and things like that, right?
Mhm,
Free radicals can lead to a cancerous condition. And what that is it's an atom missing its electron, its electricity, its light.
mhm.
So we are full of atoms, right? You can
Yeah.
get a bunch of free radicals eating too much fast food, drinking too much, drugs, things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's changing the biology. And if our biology is broadcasting at least 6 feet outside of our body, this is why some people, you come around them and things just start.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is how your frequency can go up or down.
Absolutely, because within their own body, their atom is like their body's scavenging for atoms. So this atom finds one with an electron. It's like, oh, take it. So, but it's doing that the whole time. So this is a person at war with themselves. And then
Yeah.
you get within 6 feet of their field, and they can actually pull the electrons off your atoms.
And
Now you miserable like this motherfucker, or look like a cheese grater.
person,
See?
a person can completely
See?
be,
So that's in part the science of the six. This is, you are going to interlock um, in your field with people that think abundantly, with people that don't have limitations on how they're seeing their abundance in themselves. So the experiences, the conversations, everything with these people is going to be completely different. Going to be
question.
completely different. Hmm.
Question. Okay, so let's talk about things like intuition right quick. What if my intuition level is low and then my atoms get next to your atoms, which your intuition level is high? can I receive gifts through this swapping or entanglement of atoms or, you
Okay,
know?
so yes, I mean that is happening all the time. However, um, when we say somebody's intuition is low, um, at least we understand that this is an innate thing, right? We all have been thinking about somebody before and then they called, or we
Right.
thought of it, started singing a song on the radio, and then we turn the radio on and the song is playing. This is because we're like antennas, we're like receivers. We're always receiving and giving information, always, always. So yes, certain people will can come into your sphere and they can experience certain things while in your sphere.
Mm,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've always all known a person who was thought of as like lucky. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just walked around and stuff just be happening. But this
okay.
is because, like, again, we are broadcasting a frequency. I have a video somewhere on my page where I show that they blasted a certain frequency at a car door, and you could see the car door flapping like it wasn't even a solid thing.
Mm,
Frequency, I,
yeah.
I don't even know how to explain the height of how frequency can affect, right? Um, but if you just watch certain experiments, you'll see it for yourself. And the fact that we are this encasing of all of this amazing biology and don't even understand how we work,
Yeah.
and we're not, of course, encouraged to understand how we work, especially when it comes to things like these with the six senses. So, but yes, the person could definitely, but then the same way when you were younger at times, right? A lot of us have this experience where we were taking a test and it's multiple choice and you think the answer, but that or you choose an answer, your first mind, your first choice,
Right.
and then you think yourself out of it and you choose something else just to get the paper back and see the very first choice you was going to make was the right one. So this means over time we have developed an actual resistance to using our intuition. And there are definitely things that can cloud it. So, boom, if we connect the um, gut brain, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying, the information, how your gut is connected to your brain, your feel good chemical is really, really made in your gut. So, an intuition is a gut feeling.
so, on the other hand, can
It's
we
not connected.
overload? I
I'm
don't know
sorry,
why.
can you repeat it? I just got the very end of it.
Can we overload?
You said, can we overload?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Absolutely. We can be overwhelmed. um, and that just might be, quite honestly, that we haven't chosen to learn how to focus, right? Because again, if we are antennas, and for some of us that understand, like, right, the language and stuff, and that some of us have upgrades, sometimes your sensitivity can increase. So yes, this requires a new level of balancing, right? So
Yeah.
it's like they like how they be saying new levels, new devils. So if you were to get an increase in your sensitivity or begin to train your intuition is going to now be aware, like you're going to be practicing on the level of your awareness, which is going to be more messages. Not all of these messages and thoughts need to really be entertained like that. So that's why I said this is going to
Right.
be like connected to discernment after that. So you begin to see how it's connecting the dots and how the same way you use your five senses on a regular to interpret, what I'm saying, this world, and that's why we're all having different experiences via our senses. Then you see how people who tap into this, they be just living a whole different life. Like just be living
Okay. Can you
their
hear me
experience.
better?
People like, what? Yeah,
Can you hear
yeah,
me
we're not
better?
all in the same space for real.
That's not. I said, can you hear me better? Because I changed my microphone. You can?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
let me explain this.
Okay.
I'm around 5 millionaires or wealthy people, right? So I'm getting some entanglement from all five that's now sort of making me over, I want to say, for lack of a better phrase.
Mhm.
And so as I'm making myself over, um, myself, I have to know how to nurture all of this new energy or this resonance, this new resonance that I'm feeling, or could I damage it, or could I be so fucked that I start leaking out my badass shit to these 5 millionaire, bringing them down, or how do
Oh
we balance
man.
all of this stuff?
Well, we're definitely gonna absolutely really just hope and put energy that it's the first one, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
But that's so interesting because yeah, is it possible? Absolutely, because of subconscious patterns,
mhm,
right? Like we have to understand the subconscious, they say, is 50,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind, right? So this is why you can make a decision consciously that you know is good for you. You can say, you know what, I want to look like such and such by this such and such time. I'm gonna go on a diet, eat different, whatever. And then they walk in the break room with some donuts, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start tomorrow. Why
mhm.
are you going against the conscious decision you just made? There's like another force that's
Right.
driving you. So that's what I feel that I've been doing with myself is bringing my subconscious, my hidden patterns to the light so that I can alter these things because these things are going to show up in every aspect of your life, every
Mhm,
aspect of your life. So, yes, the entanglement is there, but at the end of the day, do you have the ability to exercise the will and say, or decline that new level of abundance because quite possibly you have a subconscious pattern that, and it's so sneaky, it's so sneaky, it's like you wouldn't even know that you have that, like
mhm,
you don't have the conscious connection of those words together of I quote unquote this feel this way about abundance, you know what I'm saying, until you
mhm.
begin to train that. So hopefully, yes, you create the space of expansion through gratitude and awareness that yes, I'm in a new level. So let me adjust to
Yeah.
this new level. Like I was telling somebody the other day that cliche, don't let the money change you. I was like, listen, if I change a certain tax bracket, I have to kind of change. I have to understand like where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? How that works and how to maneuver this and how to maintain this and multiply this.
And
If I stay
protect
the
yourself.
same, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get what they was trying to say, but you just have to be careful because of the way these things, you know what I'm saying, can lock in and mold and view your perception on it. So, yes, you know what I'm saying? We've heard stories about people who have tapped into winning the lottery and they was broke 2 years later because there was some subconscious pattern that probably did not feel like they were, you know what I'm saying, really worth the abundance. So they will get it away from them real fast.
Mhm.
Real fast.
Yeah. Already I'm thinking of too many things now because you just set something off now. Because if we have the wherewithal to know what's going on about this, the science of the six, then we would want to change our lives by, say, seeking out not wealthy people, but good people. Let's just say good people or spiritual people or
Abundant. Abundant
right.
in values, abundant in thought processes, abundant in not being limited thinkers, abundant as in they feel it's available
Yeah,
enough for them, not enough to be jealous of you. Because again,
yeah.
if we are in somebody's sphere and we are tapping into that, you know, man. So right, this can go into like betrayal energy and stuff like that. But you can have people up underneath you that's literally in so much misalignment that they smiling in your face, but they're thinking these things about you. And it might even be subconscious or unconscious to them. Sometimes they're not even fully aware. A lot of times they are. That's a hater. You know what I'm saying? That's the magnetic field
Real
of a hater. But they will be right up underneath you. And you know what I'm saying? And this is
hate.
why right, we've all heard the saying, don't be telling people your business until your business is about done. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because sometimes if you know that you talk about that shit and it just don't poof, it's gone.
yeah.
Somehow the energy to manifest this, because there's actually a magnetic field and resistance of your manifestation. So
Mm,
again, right? So yes, absolutely. This is not even so much about, you know what I'm saying, about it being millionaires, but somebody with I don't know, a millionaire mindset as far as how they think, as far as their values, like people that, you know what I'm saying, feel established and rooted in who they really are.
right. So
That's yeah.
the term I meant to use was wealth because I don't think of wealth in terms of money. I think of wealth in terms of a mindset that, if money
Absolutely.
is what you seek, then so be it. But wealthy people have all kinds of other interests and hobbies that,
Absolutely.
turned out to be lucrative, but say maybe they just like art and because they're wealthy, they're able to set a life for them to allows them to own some of that art that they love so much and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we're actually talking about not so much a intuition, a gift for sure, but we still have to mold it or nurture it, so to speak, to get it to work in our
Mhm.
favor. Otherwise, we might just be giving away all of our good stuff through, leechers or haters or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's
knowing that we have that ability now is definitely helpful and awesome to a person who plans to change their lives for the better or create their own realities. And so now, I'm gonna have to ask you, is this indeed what is happening to you?
Oh, I mean, I've definitely had that experience. Absolutely. I mean, I've had a couple now where I don't know, I can barely explain it. It was like ooh, my intuition was like, "Get up, Molly, you in danger, girl." I was like, "Oh, oh, oh." It's like awakening in a situation, or I don't even know if I was truly awakening because I think that my intuition had been speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? I think I was
Right,
just sitting up there like la 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 la, and it began to get critical. And I appreciate. I have so much gratitude for my intuition, and I understand that every time I have not listened to it, I got banged. But within that, right, within me not listening was actually a pattern that I had, and so when I choose to listen to it and I break that pattern, that shit is so rewarding. Oh my God. Oh
right,
my God. That is you calling your power back. You know what I'm saying? When we be saying these things, we need to like really conceptualize it and understand what it means. Like that's really you calling your power back because you're breaking a loop. I feel like that was a karmic loop I've had many
mhm,
lifetimes, I'll be honest. That's how I feel. And the rushing back of power, the um, immediate increase of creative spark, of glow, of life, of
right,
healing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand like not listening to our intuition is like, to me, it feels like so lost. Like,
right. So
I
is
don't know. I was going
is
100
this
miles an
some
hour in the wrong direction.
Jillian?
Oh,
Is
it's just like, we going? Get back here. I was like, oh,
right,
okay. And I mean, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. I'm not gonna act like the whole thing is comfortable at all. It's not.
right, right,
Because I mean, if we're talking about how deep those patterns are about are part of now our comfort zones. even though comfort zones never really be comfortable. I hate that name.
Hmm.
But that just means that it's a repetitive pattern that the synapses fired off over and over again. It's like a
Hmm.
muscle memory to you. You know what I'm saying? So um, there's definitely a process of grieving, of releasing, but being able to turn the perception correctly once we are willing to listen to our intuition, to be
Hmm.
able to really like continue down our journey and our path the way we're supposed to. That's a powerful thing. That's a power move. Any way you slice it, it's a power move. And your intuition being a part of that, like when you get the full understanding of, you know what I'm saying, of where it is you were possibly going to end up, or you begin to see what you're experiencing, because that would equate to what people are calling like entry to a new timeline. So when you start to see things aligning, opportunities, the people in your sphere and your locus changing. Hey, can you hey Jada, I'm sorry. Can you ask her for the charger for this? Thank you. So when you begin to see like how your sphere is changing, you realize what's happening. You're like,
Hmm.
okay. But then again, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to have the intuition both ways. Is it something that you should be dealing with?
Okay, so I do have another question for you.
Okay.
Do you think intuition is more reliable in certain situations than others? Like how reliable is intuition? Is it ever wrong? Could we ever follow it and it leads us? I mean, we wouldn't. How do we know when it's intuition? How do we know when to trust it as that little voice in our head, or how do we know that that's it?
So, it's funny, right? Because the word is intuition.
Hmm.
And so the question really is, how do we know when to trust ourselves versus external factors? And so I think since it's going through the filter of you, I think we should use intuition all the time. But again, it's something innate, right? So, for instance, some of us experience it ringing in our ears, right?
Yeah.
And some people, they just, I don't know, they don't question it. It's just whatever. There is information on what a low pitch ringing in your left ear is versus a low pitch ringing in your right ear. When I get that low pitch ringing in my left ear, I know the motherfucker's plotting on me. Right, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm getting the whole thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and so that ends up working with my intuition and somehow, but again, that's if we understand that the universe is mental, um, what happens
Mhm.
when people focus on somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm
What
saying?
happened?
So
No, I'd
depending
like
on
to know.
depending on the person's sensitivity, um, they can feel this. This is what some people are calling like evil eye, right? That's
Hmm.
somebody focusing on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, a, a lot of cultures have an understanding that it's an actual look, like it's
Hmm.
a part of the gaze, or it might be part of mesmer, or what might. I don't even want to say that because yeah, that's gonna open up a weird door. Um, but like mesmer, right? But
Hmm.
a lot of times this is people's thought process on you. And then what does a thought do? It formulates. Thoughts weigh a thing. Thoughts have mass. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We've all
Absolutely.
been in a room talking to somebody and the vibe is chilling. We laughing, ha ha ha. Somebody walk in the room, you don't even see them yet. You feel it. The whole vibe just shifted in the room and everybody's looking like, wait a minute. That's the power of energy. Energy is a real thing. Energy is a
It
real
is.
thing. So you know what I'm saying? Again, yes. So that would even be a part of
Energy.
what yes,
Energy
of a
don't
thought
lie.
form being sent to you. Exactly. Exactly.
One of my
Um
favorite songs.
oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Really.
that. But yes, I mean, how deep this can get into a very deep conversation depending on what I'm saying, how deep in the occult we want to go. But tulpas, what I'm saying, are thought forms that like people can create. You can create. Universe is mental. It just depends on, what I'm saying, how limited the thinking is. But again, right? Um, for instance, if people like celebrities, right? That people look at the amount of attention or energy that has gone into the past couple of days.
Hmm.
People just calling the celebrity's name for the halftime show. Like, oh my goodness, this is free energy all day long. This is
Right.
amazing, right? So, and this is and people's level of focus. Um, I've seen certain videos where people are crashing out. You know what I'm saying? That's the level of focus. So at least in their world, this thing is taking up so much space and so much energy that it's causing them to express in certain ways and even possibly affect their own body, right? Because these
Hmm.
emotions we feel internally. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's a part of like our interoception. We feel it internally. So yeah, is right. So what happens, right, when you get a fan and they are just focusing, focusing, focusing,
Hmm.
focusing, focusing, obsessing, obsessing, obsessing.
Right.
Yeah, now it's tunnel vision, and this thing will like, right, it's gonna create a life form. It's gonna start encouraging them to try to get closer, to try to, yeah,
Hmm.
it's how it works. It's how it works. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So
Yeah.
exactly. So when we look at what I'm saying, what that question is, I mean, I don't know. Like again, like I said, anytime I have not listened to my intuition, it's definitely been lesson worthy. Lesson worthy. Which might have I definitely think is a part of the journey too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been able to gather so much. So ultimately, because I definitely had to put myself through them. I'm really grateful. Like I'm mad grateful because wow,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying, the alteration or the transformation that I've been able to experience in how I live my life. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And what I've been able to experience over these past few years has been like, well, the
So,
experiences have definitely changed. Every time I changed my thought process, I had completely different experiences.
so, so what I'm trying to find out is, um, can some intuition be just warped, warped or bad? Because I know some people who are they rely on their intuition so much where they don't have to read the book. They don't have to know that. They don't have to. It's all intuition. And most of them are Aquariuses. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, some of those people are like just wrong all the damn time.
Well, so is that they're really their intuition or is it their ego?
Well, they're intuitive people um because they don't have to know shit for real. They don't have to read that, or they don't have to have heard that, or even know what it is to already um summation notation for everything. Everything is summed up like that based off of their instinct or well, is instinct and intuition the same thing, first of all?
Um, so I don't know. I experience my instincts more in like real time where intuition sometimes is hitting me and that's causing me to reflect back on my experiences. But I don't know, like my instincts, the way I experience them a lot is like in regards to the actual biological responses that I'm having. So um but yes, I think that they're also connected. Absolutely. Like all of this is connected.
Right. So if you walk into a room with wealthy people, and again, I'm not always equating wealth with money, but wealthy people like a seminar or whatever, you expect to come out of that meeting all the more wealthy yourself. Okay, and so when we talk about six, we are then relating that number six to the sixth sense as a gift.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the
Absolutely.
science of the six tells me that when five people are together and I enter in as that sixth person, I am completing something, an atom or whatever that's causing that six now to be um, more cohesive than just the five. So I automatically get included because I'm the sixth. Or is that just with me knowing about my intuition being around them, and now I'm able to like absorb all my gems that I want?
Well, I mean, it's some people that may function on like their instinct, right? To just understand and observe and aware and be healthy enough to experience that expansion without maybe even knowing, what I'm saying, about their
Mhm.
intuition. One of the first people I ever met that showed me that we we could actually feel or send energies states wide didn't have any of the conversational awareness to be able to discuss things like, I don't know, like consciousness and kundalini, but this person was self-aware. So they might
Hmm.
not have had like the terms that we use for it and how we speak about it.
Right,
They couldn't, but they knew how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
so it just goes to show you like, you know what I'm saying? It's not always about like really, I don't know. Some people like to quiz you, like people like to pick your brain, you know what I'm saying? And they think that that's the measurement of but really you can really only pick my brain based on what you, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Like what's in your sphere of
mm,
awareness. So, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that that's my entire sphere of awareness. It means it's yours. You know what I'm saying? But but the ability to do that is you know what I'm saying could work for a person definitely just off of instinct. Um, but within a lot of us are coming from Christianity, right? And then the Bible says where there are two or more gathered in my name. So we understanding that, you know what I'm saying, combining
mhm,
this, they say two heads are better than one. So you keep adding that with people who have the same resonation as you, and it's just going to continue to get stronger. An awesome example of that is like the Maharishi effect.
mhm,
And this is how they know that not only does our environment affect us, but we affect our environment. And so this is like a study done like in the late 70s, right? That they took markers in big cities like New York, London, you know what I'm saying? Big
mhm.
cities. And they checked things like suicide rates, car accident rates, pollution, unemployment rates. And then they dropped 1,000 yogis in each city to meditate for 30 days, not monks. We're not talking 8 hours a day,
Right.
twice a day, 15 minutes a day, transcendental meditation, which to me is the simplest form of meditation. If you're struggling with
Okay.
getting to 0 point, transcendental is amazing. It's literally just repeating a one syllable word over and over for
Okay.
15 minutes. And the benefits of this, even physically, what this does to your body is amazing. But
Right.
anyways, they took the markers 30 days later, and suicide rates had dropped by about 22%. Car accident rates had dropped. Pollution got better. Unemployment rates got better. So
Wow.
that's just the power of a group of people focusing on a common goal, right? But now again, if within, they say to keep your circle tight knit. So inside your circle, you have somebody that's evil lying
Mhm.
the opposite way. Now they break in the whole, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
depending on how much entanglement is happening, yes, this can really affect you. If your frequency is affecting outside of you as well,
It's going to affect your opportunities. It's going to affect your alignment. It affects so much. As a matter of fact, not listening to our intuition or allowing ourselves to get overwhelmed. They talk about how they say autoimmune diseases are number one in Black women right now. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's because we're not listening to our intuition. I know one thing, I looked
Wow.
completely different. Yeah, I look completely different. You know, cortisol, which is the stress hormone, will change the shape of your face. Do you know, make your breath stink? Do you know it's gonna make you hold on to a lot of weight around your midsection? All of 2024, I'm like, why am I looking like this?
Wow.
No, because you're stressing. You're stressing, you're patting yourself because you're fighting every minute. And the moment I made the decision, and like I said, right now I am back to me, looking like me again. I'm like,
Welcome
glowing,
back.
got that glow, the pie stuff. But I'm just saying, like, and
Yeah.
so it comes down to these things. And again, like I said, like no shade, like it just is what it is.
Can
Like,
we
you know what I'm saying? Because everybody is dealing with their own specific
can
patterns.
we talk about how this affects your music or your music lyrics
Oh
or
my
the
goodness.
type of music that you make?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. Great.
Ooh.
Or
Okay, so
did
part
it
of
affect your music?
um yes, yes, but again, perspective places power. So um it was a touchy space for me. But I realized like this gift is about the journey of me though. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I don't know, since I've started doing this, I started doing music anyways, popping through shadow work because nobody in my life will ever tell you that they heard Jillian talk about making music, like ever.
Mm.
So for me, this is amazing. It is my personal miracle. It is like me tapping into a space so deep in myself. So I use my emotions to create everything, the stories that I write, the narrations. Yes, like that's alchemy. That is us like learning to use it and use it
Right.
properly. Use it properly. Use it to explain and just I don't know, leave whatever footprint I can for anybody else that's experiencing something similar. You know what I'm saying? Because we all
Mm.
are facing our stuff, absolutely. And so anybody that's really fighting to face that, regardless of situations, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Salute, because that's what it's supposed to be. And not all of our, you know what I'm saying, paths are gonna end up on the same road, but it's okay. It's all good. I said love.
And
Because I understand how these spirits work and I'm gonna get it right back.
do
So
you
it's all
think
good.
do you think that this sixth sense is evolving
Oh,
or has the
absolutely.
ability like science is
Absolutely.
forever advancing itself. Surely there's some stuff we're going to find out even more about the sixth sense.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So
Correct.
a few years ago, I think it was in like New Mexico or something, but they had this conference about how basically like human DNA was evolving. You know what I'm saying? They have certain things you can watch about certain people around the world, and they just have weird things about their DNA. Like I think there's one little boy in India, and his eyes are like so hypnotic, but he can see in the dark, like kind of like a big cat can. You know what I'm saying? Um, the women go
Okay,
through.
hold on. So
Mhm,
now let's distinguish between, okay, we've got this energy field for every person.
mhm,
You know that there's other forms of beings here,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So say the five people, say three of them are some other form of being on this planet. And you know they can all mimic the real deal. So their verbiage, their
Mhm.
customs, culture, and all of that could be very similar to us. Are these atoms intelligent enough to know not to entangle with certain other artificial atoms? I'm gonna say.
Okay, so uh, right when we're speaking about like atoms on an energetic level, um, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know what an artificial atom is. Like, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I just it's a new phrase that I just made up for lack of a better word
Okay.
to explain
I mean,
how.
if we mean about are the atoms unknown knowingly not going to uh mesh with
Yes.
energies that are not in alignment with us?
Well, not in
Um,
alignment, but not of the same type atoms or I mean, who knows what some other beings are even made out of for real, but I'm saying would my atoms know that that's a bot and not try to even 'cause, we don't know what bots. I'm not even trying to get on another subject. I'm wanting to know if this intuition thing or this sixth sense is aware of imposters. Let's just say it like that. Imposter beings.
I mean, so internally, I feel like yes. I feel like when we look back, right, on something, we re- we we remember that the signs was there. As far as like imposter goes, or if you're talking about other beings energetically, you know what I'm saying?
No,
Um,
other human beings,
oh,
other
okay, well,
mankind,
o-
mankind.
okay, well, with other human beings, like we do get like physical, you know what I'm saying? Your body, there's a book called The Body Knows the Score. And we pick up things like
Mhm,
body language. We pick up
mhm,
things like that. But again, are we always in a space to interpret that correctly? Especially if we
mhm,
haven't been training our intuition, or if we have like a specific trauma set or pattern, like being a people pleaser, it might cause you to actually ignore some things like that. So
mhm,
again, right, this is all about training that and actually just really learning how to listen to it, trusting the process enough and realizing that that's gonna alter this who's in your sphere when you really
mhm.
learn to listen to it and be comfortable
Right.
enough to allow it and trust the process to do that. So um, but again, if you're within a specific physical field, like say for instance, every day you go to work and you sit next to somebody who is like super super negative, right? Even though
Mhm,
you know what I'm saying, even though you might be a super positive person, the physical the entanglement is going to happen. So this is like how this now is going to become a space of like mental boundaries. Or maybe what you even willing to put up with. Maybe you just want to move. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit
right.
by this motherfucker no more. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But some people, they people pleaser, they too polite. They don't want to be asked why did they move, all types of stuff. So see what you're
Right.
willing to endure and put up with or allow to continue to be in your space is gonna have a big difference on or a big um influence on how you're experiencing your reality and your loca. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. So that was the lead up question to what about animals? Do you think they experience some of the um not the five senses, but the extra senses that are, like intuition? Do they have a sixth sense? Do their hair stand up on their neck or
Mm, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've heard
well let's
stories
talk to
about
cats.
certain animals being in certain,
Cats. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
certain, what do they call it, like nursing homes or something. And I remember
Mhm.
hearing a story about a certain cat. Anytime somebody was getting ready to pass, he would go sit in the room and go sit with them. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh
this
my
is how they
God.
began to know who was finna go. Yep. So also, right, they say that the purr of kittens um is on a certain frequency and can heal certain things. So for them
Whoa.
to do that particular purr, they must be able to sense that you're having that particular ailment. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So um and the same with why they say a lot of people choose dogs, right? Because this is a lesson in unconditional love a lot of times. A lot of times people
Hmm.
do a lot to a puppy, they're still there. They love you. You know what I'm saying? It's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
so
Right. Right.
um so
I do, I do believe it, and of course that they have instinct too. Because like say for instance, you're trying to, I don't know, like stomp a lizard or something. You know what I'm saying? They so fast. They feeling like your electromagnetic wave almost
Oh
before
yeah,
you put it
yeah,
down. So there's something that's like, you know what I'm saying, going off of their body. When I began to
yeah.
experience like, you know what I'm saying, just whatever level of my awakening that I was having, um, that's what it felt like for me. It was like, ooh, it was like
Mhm.
this extra level communication that all of a sudden was like, wow. And I was
Okay.
just learning. It was like every day was my first day on earth because I was like, what? Like every right through
Wow.
all the senses, I was experiencing all of my senses on a much deeper level than I had ever experienced them. So it was like having to go back and re-look at things and relearn things and retouch things, and, right? Because the
Hmm.
experience was completely different and the communication that I was receiving was completely different. I don't necessarily think anything was given to me. I think maybe I peeled a layer back. Maybe it was always there. You know what I'm saying? All my life I was getting called sensitive, but this was in the layer of, like psychology basically. And
Mhm.
I also interpreted because the way it was told to me as a negative thing. And yet
Mm.
when this burst upon me, this sensitivity, it was just so fire. Later on I had people asking me, how do I get more sensitive? So
Right,
maybe the thing they're clowning you about is the very thing that you need to develop. I'm just saying. You never know.
right,
You never know. So
right.
so I definitely do. I definitely think that they do. Um you have people that do like there's this guy, he's like an animal chiropractor. Sometimes
Mhm.
I don't know. I got like one day I was like watching this for like 40 minutes. I was like, was I watching this man crack cats' backs for 40 minutes? Like it was just it was amazing to me. But right? And
Damn.
these are everything. He does everything. I saw him do a lion the other day. I was like horse, everything. The
Mhm.
dogs, and it's the look on their faces when he does it to them, like I'll be like, yes. Um, but right, like that's just amazing to me because to I don't know, for him to have tapped into that this is his space and that's the niche for him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people probably would be like, what? But that's he was definitely created to do that. So right, it goes down to yes, how are you gonna show up in this world based on maybe externally what looks like you should or should not do versus
Mhm.
internally the communication that you're getting that you should. And that can definitely be a fight if we're not willing to um, really receive our messages properly. You know what I'm saying? Because the
Absolutely.
same way we can think ourselves out of our first choice for that test, we can think ourselves out of our intuition. We can definitely, you know what I'm saying, um, be in paralysis from overthinking, maybe because of fear, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, don't get stuck.
So, so intuition can turn from being something innate into being something actually physical through its properties of alerting you. Can it be
Um,
physical?
so I think absolutely we can interpret it through the physical. Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, some of us have been in a situation and we just began to feel very uneasy in our stomach. And so
Mhm.
this is, you know what I'm saying? This is
Right.
the interpretation, literally, yes. And then as I was saying, right, like um being in a space where I was stressing myself, allowing myself to, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
yeah, it definitely turned physical.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Definitely had physical effects from that.
Mm.
Um,
I
and
never I never really looked at being stressed or other physical ailments can be caused by ignoring your intuition.
absolutely. So
Wow.
shamanism teaches that all ailments start as something emotional, right? And they say that your lungs are connected to grief, fear is in the liver, Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah. And it's right. That's deep because that means like, yo, listen. I used to
So,
hang around somebody a couple of years ago, right? And we'd be chiefing, right? Chiefing, you're supposed to be feeling relaxed, right? Your body's supposed
right?
to. Every time I sat around, it's like my neck, right? I'm telling you, that thing would not let up. I was like, what is this? This is crazy. And also like a space right above, like, I don't know, maybe like around the sciatica, around the right? And I
Mhm.
mean, it just wouldn't let up. When I looked up the space, because shamanism is so fire, you can look up where the ailment is at, and somebody has already recorded. It said lack of
Well,
emotional support.
wow.
I I started to get that same pain back when I was going through it again. I said, "You see what I'm talking about?" And it's like I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to pretend like I didn't understand. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? The the element that I had already previously. Yeah, that's how. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it absolutely can. So ignoring it is not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for them. It's not healthy. It's just don't. Just don't. It's all
Mm.
good. It's all good. We just need to make, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, when you do, you start to, again, at first, it's so uncomfortable, maybe because of familiarity. But then after a while, you start getting that, your spark back and you understand what was happening. That's deep. That's deep.
And so intuition is all of that stuff. The hair standing up on your neck, the gut feelings, all of that is intuition. Or is it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Wow.
so the hair is standing up. Um, if it's in connection to a feeling like that, some people get that from frizzen, which is like when what you get when you listen to certain music. Like every time I hear Fantasia sing, I don't know what it is, but that girl got it. You know what
For
I'm saying?
real?
She got it. Ooh, every time I
Ah,
hear her sing, I get goosebumps. I'm like, she's carrying something, a frequency that is
wow.
so powerful. Yes. One of the like very early shows I had on early on, a lady came to me and told me that I caused her goosebumps, and I was like shook. I was like, what? Because I understood what that meant. In physics, they actually claim light is cold, right? So in
Mhm,
certain movies, they'll show you where if there's communication from a being that's in a different dimension, a ghost, whatever, right? That the
mhm.
person will, the hairs on the back of their neck will stand up and they get cold. Some movies, they even depict it where you see frost coming out their mouth, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
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 So, so I mean that could be the way the magnetic fields can change, but I mean internally, right? The interoception is definitely having some type of kick within your body. Your body, your biology is responding to stuff all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
To stuff all day. It's
Yeah.
responding to our thoughts. It's responding to
Or
our
lack
thoughts.
or
We could
lack
sit here and
thereof.
loop. Yep. But we could sit here and loop a thought over and over again, right? And it's going to
Yeah.
create an emotion. And then that emotion might create an action.
Yeah.
It gets deep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right. So this was some great stuff to know. Definitely worth digging more into,
absolutely.
especially since we know we have to nurture it, or once we know what it is, then we can say manipulate it or use it to our advantage, and
Absolutely.
have some fun with it. I'm
Absolutely.
always looking for stuff like
Absolutely.
this, and not because it's scientific, but because it's a gift. And some
Absolutely.
of
Okay,
us, we
so
have gifts and don't know it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I had no idea the music was in me. Absolutely.
there you
Um,
go.
well, one quick exercise, right? That I like to do sometimes with people, but you can get like a plain deck of cards and maybe
Mhm,
just start with like, you know what I'm saying, the four kings, four queens, whatever, four of any of the same matching cards, and turn them over and mix them up and look at the back of the card and see which one you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Ace of spades, ace of hearts,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then you train it. One book I was reading, it was saying, like, say you're taking a walk and you're getting ready to go around the corner, try to intuit the next color of the car that's gonna be coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's a muscle. It's a part of your psychic muscle. And so like any muscle, it can be trained.
And so,
And there's all
and so
types of
when you,
exercises.
so when you get in the colors right 5 times in a
Um,
row and now consistently, then that's that's awesome to
yeah, I
actually
mean,
see the
so
training increasing.
there's oh my God, if you search the net, it's like crazy. They have one called the Jose Silva method that's really popular too. Um, but yeah, like there's all types of exercises that you can do. Quite honestly, I feel like I didn't have an issue at all with my intuition. My intuition is very powerful. I just I like to play sometimes, but I had an issue with focus. So for
Okay.
me, I had to find the exercises I needed to be able to hold focus.
Right.
Or right, I just released like a 12-minute reading on a chapter in The Women Who Run with Wolves book. And that book is
Yes.
definitely about women's intuition and the different archetypal roles we go through as we begin to listen to our intuition. So that would be the
Hmm.
mother, maiden, and crone. And for instance, in the Bluebeard story, this is going to represent the younger sister and her two older sisters, and the lesson that the younger sister, under her naivete, from
Hmm.
going against her intuition, because in the beginning they all could see clearly that this man beard is blue as hell, and that's
Right.
strange, but still somehow she
Right.
lulls herself, and after some time it's like, it's not that blue, it's like light blue, it's like cyan. You know, it's like a sea
Right.
blue. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so
Right.
so it's definitely tapping into that. I recommend that book. That book is fire. And what's so interesting is that I can't tell if when I was going through certain processes if my intuition was trying to talk to me so powerfully that I was magnetizing all the information about my circumstance, the situation, not movies, everything. That
Oh
book,
yeah.
that book, I
Wow.
was I was dreaming stuff, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Everything, and I'm like in reverse. That was your intuition in reverse. You about to nail me to the wall with that.
Damn.
So yeah, it was whatever my pattern was at the time. Um, but the information was there.
Cool.
It was there.
Cool.
Um, but it's all good. It's all good. Um, I
It
received the
is.
lesson. I received the lesson. So,
It is.
but it's a super powerful force. Super powerful force. So yes, I mean,
Great.
if it's something that we can use, not only in creating a new reality, or tapping into spaces, um, adding our confidence with that, you know what I'm saying? To
Hmm.
move through that space of intuition, it can work as a space of protection for us. This is a
Hmm.
multifaceted thing of how this is going to show up in your life. So
Right.
yeah, so yes.
Great. Great. Now I've got something to study. Okay. But so before we go,
Mhm.
do you wanna let people know like where your merch is at or how they can listen to your
Absolutely.
music? Okay,
Absolutely.
go for it.
Thank you. And I'll probably, once I get it, also place a couple of links up underneath the bottom. But my music is available on SoundCloud. Some of it is on Spotify, Apple Music,
Mhm.
iHeartRadio under The Word Witch, DAWURD. Witch.
Absolutely.
My merch is on The Word Witch's Lair on Etsy.com. I'm super,
Mhm.
super proud of that. Um, I actually have two ebooks that are available as well. One on confidence,
Mhm.
which you definitely need to be able to follow your intuition. So yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank
great.
you. This is amazing.
Great.
Thank you.
And you do have your own YouTube channel too,
Oh yes.
also,
Thank you.
and
Yes.
Facebook page.
Yes.
Yeah,
So definitely will put all the links up underneath the bottom so you guys know where to find
there you
me at.
go. Well, all
Thank
right.
you.
All right. It's been a short hour. And thanks for the information. Of course, Jillian, it's always great to talk
Absolutely.
to you on Yahsinni in the House. And
Okay. Let's do
otherwise,
this again.
Facebook and all the other avenues that we converse. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so I wish you well. I wish you a happy life, a happy night, and take
Thank
care of
you. Same
yourself.
to you.
Peace
Same
and
to
love
you.
to you.
Peace.
Bye.